As one of the richest nations on earth, the United Arab Emirates proves quite a draw to migrants when it comes to work opportunities. For some, the dream of earning plenty of money turns into a nightmare when they become trapped in their host nation. Upcoming now, the story of an Indian man who found himself right in that spot.
I was promised a job as an electrician. When I arrived, they offered me some manual work. The owner said, do this for a month, then I'll change you to an electrician. But nothing's changed. I did it for 7 months, but it was tough and I couldn't do it anymore. When I approached my boss, he took me to a place, promised me a better job, but then locked me up. 5 people came in. They beat me brutally for 3 days.
This was not an isolated case. An estimated 100 migrants from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka have become stranded in the UAE after their employer refused to renew their work permits, claiming no money. And more than a dozen Indians recently called on their embassy to help them get out. Now, foreign labour in the Emirates makes up almost 90% of the entire workforce, with most migrants coming from India, Bangladesh and Pakistan. In fact, according to the UN, the relatively small nation has the 5th largest number of migrants in the world. Now, some foreign labourers pay agents thousands of dollars just to get a job in the Gulf states. Yet the reality doesn't always live up to their expectations. They say they're forced to work long hours, living in squalid conditions and sharing a room with many others. Sharon Bureau from the International Trade Union Confederation says workers are falling into the trap as the UAE has no legal system to help them.
These are modern slavery countries. They take no responsibility for the workers. The workers are promised contracts that will be honoured in UAE or Qatar or other Gulf states. They arrive to find themselves often without those contracts because they're torn up or substituted. And then when they get into trouble, no employer takes responsibility for them. If their wages aren't paid, there's no effective court system. If the worker simply is dismissed, there's no effective remedy. And indeed, if you have a situation like this one, no one takes responsibility for even sending them home. So they effectively become trapped in the UAE, as is the case for these workers. It's simply not acceptable that in 2016, we have the richest countries on earth, the Gulf states, running a slave system.
All right, coming up next here on RT International, a very worrying and sinister story of organ trading in Nepal. A special RT documentary next.